life. Sometimes so much is compressed into such a little word. At Cedarville University, students experience both the joys and challenges of life while focusing on all that college has to offer. Listen along with our host, Allie Kinner, as we take a deep dive into those life experiences with 4 Cedarville students. Eliana, Andrew, and Aspen continue their 1,000 days as a sophomore, junior, and senior, while Chloe joins them as our new freshman. Romans 8:28 reminds us that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him. This is 1,000 Days, a Resound Radio podcast.
Aspen, welcome back to 1,000 Days podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty dang amazing. Thank you, Allie.
I'm so glad. Well, we're going to get to it because not only is today a lot to cover so far with podcast agenda and all the things, but it's also a special day for you.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So it is your 2-year and 7-month anniversary with fiancé.
Yes.
Yes.
Today, I have been together with Caleb for 2 years and 7 months, and we like to, if both of us are able to meet up every month on the 9th, because we got together on the 9th, we like to meet up and do a little relationship check-in. And we weren't able to last month on 2 years and 6 months, so we're kind of doing our little celebration thing on 2 years and 7 months.
Yeah.
That's why today's a celebration. So we met up, we had a hot date, aka we played Split Fiction together
Yeah.
over the phone and had our little check-in asking like, hey, how do you feel like our relationship is going? And are there any needs that you feel aren't being met? Are there any disagreements that you want to voice? Are there any things that you've been feeling in this relationship that you think need to be addressed? Is there any direction you'd like to point our relationship in as we continue working together in this next month? Because, relationships are fun, but they're also work, and we want to make sure we're doing the right work.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
So, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And hopping on to another coupley related thing, wedding planning.
Yes.
Talk to me about it. How's it going? We're doing August 1st, question mark?
August 1st, that's when the wedding's happening.
Yay.
4 months from now, just about. I can't believe it's that close.
It's literally so close. That's wild.
Yeah, we're at the stage where we have just booked our caterer and decided, we decided who is going to be doing our food. I'm going to be doing tastings in the next week to try and figure out, what exactly we want for the menu and how exactly we want it to be figured out. I'm going to be printing off and sending out invitations this week. We just reached out to the DJ that we want for the wedding to hopefully get that booked in the next week or two. And we're starting to figure out florals. We're figuring out hotels. So lots of things. 4 months out from the wedding is a big time because we're starting to get stuff coming together.
100%. That's wild. That's wild. And how do you feel, because you do have 4 months. So, what are, do you have any wedding jitters? Cold feet's not a thing for you, I think. So, how are you feeling?
I don't know. I mean, we've had little, fully cold feet, but we've had little cold toe moments.
Yeah.
Because as you get engaged, it just makes everything hit that much harder. You're like, wow, I'm actually going to spend the rest of my life with this person. I'm all in. Was that the right decision? Am I making the right decision? What if all of the deep-seated fears that I've had about marriage are right? What if deep down this person isn't who I thought they were? What if deep down these really little insecurities or really small things about them that annoy me are actually going to turn out to be really big issues? And what if I've made the wrong decision? What if, pick XYZ people in your life whose relationship hasn't gone well? What if we turn out exactly like them? And we get this anxiety late at night, laying in your bed, wondering, am I picking the right person? Is this the right choice? We've already spent thousands of dollars on this wedding, and everybody knows. Is it too late to back out if this is the wrong decision? And then I pray about it. And I go and I talk to Caleb, and I know that this is the right decision because I actually just last week sat down with a friend of mine who was engaged and broke off her engagement because she realized after she got engaged that there were some things in her relationship that had gone unaddressed for way too long. And when she tried to address them, her fiancé at the time shut her down and kind of pushed them off. And instead of being her comfort and her peace and her rock, her fiancé made her anxious and worried and didn't address her concerns and wasn't honest with her and wasn't there with her fighting the problems. Her fiancé was becoming a problem. And whenever I'm facing all of this anxiety and this worry and these cold feet feelings, I go back to God. I go back to Caleb, and Caleb is my rock, and he is my comfort. And he points me back to God, who is my ultimate source of comfort. And that's how I know that he's the one.
Yeah.
Because every time we have a problem, he encourages me to fight the problem with him. He never becomes the problem himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
That's so sweet. Oh my goodness. And then so
I love him.
it's okay. Sorry. Wedding planning is near and dear to my heart because my roommate is getting married, and so she's also wedding planning.
Oh yes.
And then like I also am helping her out a little bit more because I'm a bridesmaid, so it's like helping to kind of navigate all of that
all the stuff.
craziness is wild.
Oh, we're planning bridesmaid dresses too.
Oh my gosh, how is that going? Bridesmaid dressing is so hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's it's freaking.
So I'm using JJ's House, which is an online site where you can. They have like certain types of linen, certain types of fabric that you can order dresses in.
Yes.
And then you can get dresses in a bunch of different styles, but the exact same fabric to make all of them.
Oh.
And you can also order different types of dresses in different sizes to try on for just like $10 to have it shipped to you, try it on, and return it. And then you can decide if you want to actually buy the dress.
Yeah.
And I really like that because all different bridesmaids, they have different body types, they have different preferences for what looks good on them. And I want them all to be in the same color and fabric so that they're not clashing. But I don't care if they're in the exact same style of dress. So the nice thing about JJ's House is I can send them the link with the preferences, say, okay, I want you all in burgundy chiffon with a floor-length dress.
Yeah.
And maybe I could say, like, you know, I don't want your dresses to be strapless or something if that was a preference. I don't care what the straps or the tops of the dress look like. So I just said burgundy chiffon floor-length dress. Pick whatever one looks best on you, what you feel confident in. And that way they can each try on as many dresses as they want and buy the one that fits their body type and that they like and that they feel confident in.
I love that.
And they're all like under $100, which is cool.
Yes. No, I love that.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I know where my roommate got her bridesmaids dresses. Then we're all wearing different colors, which is wild.
Exciting.
It's wild.
Like
and
a little
so,
rainbow.
honestly, yeah, but it's like all jewel tones, and so it's like it's actually honestly like kind of a vibe.
I like that.
But I'm wearing burnt orange, but it's like, but okay, hear me out. So the color name is paprika, and I love deviled eggs. And I love deviled eggs with paprika on it. And so I'm going to be running around the party being, where's my deviled eggs at? But like, it's not weird. Anyways.
No, I love burnt orange as a dress color, actually. I think it's really
and I
cute.
thought it would look bad on my skin tone. And then I tried it on and I was like, she's not ugly. And so now I like burnt orange. So it's kind of a vibe. But we got our dresses from Azazi, which is also
Azazi
online.
was what I was going to do before I found JJ's House.
Yes, no. But like there's so many good like things out there, and like JJ's House and Azazi are like where I've heard like are like the
top tier ways to do it.
1,000%.
Yep.
But moving on from wedding things, but not from Caleb, because ironically I met Caleb on FaceTime.
Just before this.
Just before this. Well, honestly, before our hour-long chat prior to recording. So, like, an hour and a half ago. But I met Caleb, and it was really cool because, like, now I feel like I met every single person's, like, significant other on the pod except for Andrew's. So.
Gotta get on it.
I gotta get on it. My bad. But, no, it was so funny because we were on FaceTime. And, okay, Caleb is in Alaska right now.
Yes, he is.
And I saw mountains. It was the coolest thing ever. Okay.
Yeah, his view right out of his family's living room and kitchen is
Wild.
just the mountains because they live in a valley, so there is mountains all around them.
And big trees.
And big trees. So it's just right into a forest and mountains.
It is
and it's
so
gorgeous.
pretty. It's so pretty. And I got to see that. And so now I feel like I can put a face to the name and I can also put a location visualization to Alaska because I've never been to Alaska. So that was really cool. But moving on now to one of our favorite things to talk about.
Yeah.
Snacks. Because we love snacks. But you recently made snacks.
Yes.
Chat with me.
So those chocolates that I told you about forever ago that I was going to get together and make around Valentine's Day, we finally got together.
2 months later.
We made chocolates 2 months later. We finally found time in my endlessly busy schedule to make chocolates.
Because that's a priority.
And we made chocolates. They were really, really good. So my friend Thomas just went out and got this, it wasn't baker's chocolate, but it was like maker's chocolate that was made to be melted and tempered really easily. And he got these silicone molds. So we melted down the chocolate. It was like half milk chocolate, half dark chocolate. And we put them in the molds and we filled some of them were just all chocolate. Some of them had little caramels that he bought in the middle. And then we tried to make puffed rice so that they could be like
Crispy?
Yeah, crispy. Like what's the snacks that
Crunch?
have puffed rice in them? Yeah, like the Crunch bars
Yes.
that have puffed rice. But we didn't look up ahead of time how to do it. And you're supposed to cook the rice and then
Puff it.
like fry it. And I didn't cook rice ahead of time, so we just had uncooked rice. And according to the internet, you're supposed to be able to puff uncooked rice too. It just doesn't puff as big. The internet lied. Don't listen to the internet, people.
Stupid
The internet lies. Because we tried to puff the rice and it technically worked, but it's like really hard and a little bit burnt tasting. Like it's still good. It's still chocolate with crunchy rice bits, but it's like hard crunchy rice bits. And I'll admit, it's a little bit of a fail. But you know what? I'm still going to eat all the chocolate.
As you should.
Slowly.
No chocolate goes to waste here. Let's just say
over the course of a long time. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And then you also, other good news.
Yes.
You had a visit.
I did.
From who?
During my sister's spring break, which was right after our spring break, my mom came down and visited and brought my sister and then my other younger sister and my brother down to come visit. So they came down and we threw a little bridal shower, which was a lot of fun. And they got to see my apartment and we got to, what else did we do while they were here? Just got to have some sister hangout time. My little sister who's not in college yet, that I'm trying to convince to have here at Cedarville. We got to have her visit and stay at Cedarville overnight for a couple nights.
How was that?
She really liked it. Yeah.
Yes.
She had a migraine the first night, so she decided to stay back in the VRBO with my family. But then the second night, she stayed here on campus, and she had fun with that.
Yay.
And she got to meet all of my friends, and my family got to meet all my friends, and they really liked them.
Yes.
Which, always nice when the worlds collide and it doesn't go horrible.
Yes,
So,
1,000%.
I like that. Just
yay.
getting to see my family again. I miss them. Got to see my mom's potential mother of the bride dress. She looks hot. It's great. She kept being like, I don't know if this dress feels like I'm trying to do too much, and I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be too flashy, you know? Because the back was sort of open and it had gems and sequins on it, and I said, "No, Mom, you look amazing.
Yes.
You look gorgeous. Wear that dress."
Yes.
Plus, I mean, nobody's gonna outshine me on my wedding day.
True.
It's not gonna happen.
Yes.
They couldn't if they tried.
True.
So-
And remind me, have you gotten a wedding dress yet?
I have. It's like the first part of the whole wedding I secured. I literally found it in one day somehow.
Shut
At the
your pie
second
hole.
bridal shop we went to, I tried it on and we were just like, "Yep, this is the one." We could try on other ones, but almost everybody teared up when I came out in the dress, and we were like, "Yeah,
That's like the sweetest thing ever.
This is the one.
Stop.
So I love it. I'm really excited.
I'm so excited. Now I'm not going to ask anything else about the wedding dress because
No clues.
no clues at all. No, no, no.
No, no, no.
But moving on, let's go to musical watching.
Yes.
Because we are both theater kids.
We are. We are.
So talk to me. Musicals.
Yeah. So I have been showing my little friend group a bunch of my favorite musicals.
Mm-hmm.
They are not exactly Cedarville appropriate, so we had to go off campus to watch them in my apartment because they're really, really good musicals,
Mm-hmm.
but they're kind of raunchy
Mm.
and they swear a lot.
Mm.
So we watched them off in my apartment.
Yes.
But we had just the most fantastic cuddle puddles. A definition of cuddle puddles, for anyone who does not know,
Yes.
is when you just shove as many people onto a couch as possible, and there's just so many people in this big platonic pile of goodness
Mm-hmm.
that you cannot tell where one person's limbs end and another begins.
Yes.
So you're like a puddle of people.
That's
a cuddle
cuddling.
puddle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. It really fulfills that like need for platonic physical affection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun when you have like everybody who's just like, yeah, I'm chill with platonic cuddling. And it's not weird for anybody. It's great. I
Yeah.
love theater people.
Theater people are a different breed, can I just
They really
say?
are.
Like, we are built different for real.
Mm-hmm.
But you also, speaking of theater, because this is like the perfect segue,
Yes.
theater showcase.
Yes. So they have people who are theater majors get to propose different segments, like a scene from this play or a song from this
Ooh,
play.
what a vibe.
Or this like short comedic bit. There is some really fantastic comedy bits, some really amazing serious play snippets, and some really, really good choral ensemble numbers from big plays. I don't want to give too much away, but
Yes.
they have a really wide range of anywhere from like comedy to drama.
Mm-hmm.
And it all sort of, they've arranged it in sort of a flow where it goes from, you know, comedic thing leading into slightly less comedic, leading into very serious, leading into more comedic. So it doesn't jump from
It's not
comedy to
yeah.
drama.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
And I'm helping out with that. I'm not on stage, but we don't really have a makeup crew because of the way that this is working out. So I am the sole person in charge of making sure that makeup and hair are
Presentable.
done.
Yes.
And then I'm going to be helping out with costumes backstage too.
Ah.
So yeah.
Yay.
Excited.
So fun. And then I need to ask you something. This isn't on my agenda, but
Oh,
like
okay.
I'm a curious girly. And this is hot goss according to the internet.
Hot goss.
Hot goss.
According to the internet.
According to the internet, because it's so viral right now for being so bad. And you're the girly to ask about it.
All right. I'm so ready.
The new Disney Snow White movie.
Oh.
Thoughts, opinions. Have you seen it? Because I have not.
I refuse to watch it.
Me too.
Shaking hands.
Yes.
And I still think that I have some valid opinions on it despite not watching it,
Yes.
because you can see just from a lot of outside sources and a lot of what's going on that they didn't do their work.
Mhm.
They haven't for almost any of the Disney remakes.
Mm-hmm.
And they really, really, really dropped the ball with this one,
Yeah.
especially as somebody who is very passionate about costuming and historical costuming
Mm-hmm.
and set design and lighting design, like the way that they absolutely destroyed her costume. Because her costume, literally the whole way that her costume works, the original designers of Snow White's costume wanted her to look like she had come from nature and
Mhm.
was one with nature. So they pulled all of the colors of her costume from actual pieces of nature. Her
Mhm.
dress, the color of her dress is directly pulled from actual dandelion petals. And that's why the dress in the modern one, I know they were trying to saturate things up, make it look poppy, make it look cool,
Mm-hmm.
but they could have made more saturated versions of the original colors and still kept the same theme, but they made it look gaudy and they made it look costumey because they just, I think, color picked brighter versions of a yellow, a blue, a red. And they made changes to her costume that don't really make sense with the character.
Yeah.
They just make sense to make her look like a more iconic character.
Yeah.
And they don't make sense with the actual character choices. It makes the dress more marketable. It does not make the dress fit with the character. And I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it at all. That's why people hate the dress. That's why it looks gaudy. That's why it looks costumey, because it doesn't fit with the world that it comes from. Because realistically, even if we're not consciously thinking about it, we can tell that the yellow doesn't make sense for the world that she lives in. Where would they get the textiles to make that? Where would it come from? And that's just one thing.
Yeah.
That's just one thing out of all of them. Yeah, they really dropped the ball with it.
Yeah. No, I think the only Disney remakes of the original Disney princesses that I'm okay with was Beauty and the Beast, because one, I love Emma Watson, but I also think that they did her a good job. Our Tech Olivia is like, yes, girl, I agree. And then I loved the one that they did with Cinderella with, what was her name? Cinderella was such a good one. What's
Cinderella
her name?
was a good remake.
Lily James. I love her. And the way that, I also, okay, here's my thing. I love the way that they introduced the mom's backstory in the Cinderella version that they did. It was so good. And it was so well done. Like, they respected the original storyline, which I loved, but it still felt like revived and modern.
If you're going to do a remake, I think Cinderella was the way to do it. That's the only one of the remakes that I'll actually stand beside and say this was good. There are others of the current remakes that I will say were okay. Like, they weren't horrific.
Yeah.
But there's not even any other ones that I'll say were good besides that one.
Yeah.
I thought that The Little Mermaid was okay. The costume choices were sad.
Yeah.
And some of the character design choices were upsetting just because I feel like she deserved more. But the casting was excellent and the actors were good. And the set and design wasn't horrible. And they didn't, like, absolutely butcher any of the songs or musical moments.
Yeah.
They may have butchered Ursula a little bit, but not horrifically so.
Yeah. And then to end out this episode, I need to ask a crucial question.
Yes.
Because I am a Disney freak. So if you don't know, now you do. But what is your favorite Disney princess?
Favorite Disney princess?
Yes. And why?
I'm, like, tied between two.
Okay, what are your two?
I've got two. There's one that, like, I heavily relate to and one that, like, I always wanted to be growing up and also sort of related to.
Yes.
So I always really, really related to Rapunzel from Tangled.
Yes.
And I love her. I actually went and got my hair cut like her, like, short haircut when I was younger. But I didn't know how to style it, so I just looked like Lord Farquaad. But I did get my hair cut like hers. So.
Yes. So you did it.
I did technically do it. I always related to her, and I loved her as a character, and I thought she was really cool. And then I have always adored Mulan and wanted to be like her.
Yes.
And thought that she was incredible. And I also related to her as someone who has grown up in an area and a part of the world where I felt very much held back by being a woman. And I really respected that she was able to throw aside the shackles of womanhood and push forward.
Yeah. Well, and, like, another thing I love about Mulan, because she's also one of my favorites, is the fact that, like, even though she did have to kind of step out of her, like, womanhood or whatever, then she didn't abandon it.
Yeah,
like
no. She's strong
regardless,
for
she's
being a
still
woman.
strong for being a woman. And I think that that's really what people miss is like, yeah, like she did have to like dress like a man and like go and do all of those things, but like she never forgot that she was a woman.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And that's why I hate the modern remake of Mulan, because Mulan wasn't stronger or better than anyone else because she was a woman.
Agreed.
And she wasn't stronger or better than anyone else because she was uniquely gifted or a chosen one because of some weird chi thing that people loosely pulled from Chinese mythology. Mulan became stronger and better than the people around her because she was ingenious and because she was creative and innovative and because she was uniquely talented and because some of the ways that she thought differently than the people around her were because she was a woman. And the only reason that throwing aside her womanhood helped her is simply because it allowed her to get past the societal restraints of being a woman, not because being a woman was a detriment.
Exactly. Love it. So
yeah, so I love Mulan.
With that being said, then we are going to close out this episode just talking about all the things, marriage, womanhood, snacks. But friendly reminder to all of those out there, men and women are all seen equal in the image of God. We just have different jobs to do. And that is the beauty of how different we are and how amazing that God can use us in our different positions and all the things.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
And that's our feminism. True feminism.
Yes. Biblical feminism is acknowledging that men and women have different roles and that God put us in these roles for a reason. So, with that being said, we will see you in 2 weeks and we will get a life update. We'll hear how wedding planning is going and it'll just be like a grand old time. I'm so excited. And hopefully we won't start recording an hour late, but if we do, I'm not mad about it because we're chatty Cathys. Yeah. Thank you, Aspen.
You're welcome, Allie. Thank you.